Tennessee Titans running back Derrick Henry will go over 1,200 rushing yards this year, and I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. We're going to talk about that plus more Titans bets on today's edition of the Locked On Titans podcast. Let's get it.
You are Locked On Titans, your daily Tennessee Titans podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to the Locked On Titans podcast. I am your host, Tyler Rowland. Titans fans, today's edition of the Locked On Titans podcast is brought to you by Bird Dogs. Go to birddogs.com/LockedOnNFL or enter promo code LockedOnNFL for a water bottle with any order. You won't want to take your Bird Dogs off. We promise you. We are going to be talking Tennessee Titans bets on today's show. I capped off last week with a fantasy episode. Today's episode is definitely going to be about some gambling Titans fun. And of course, all of these bets and all of these lines are available on Fanduel Sportsbook. But with that being said, we're going to talk some player props to start with Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill. We're going to talk some more team bets that have great odds on them. And we're going to get into some special things that I think could make you some money as well. Before we get into all of it, thank you guys for making the Locked On Titans podcast your first listen each and every day. Remember, Monday through Friday, Tennessee Titans content all year round, always for free. Make sure that you get subscribed, stay subscribed to the Locked On Titans podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. Speaking of every day, shout out to my everydayers out there. I got great content coming your way the rest of this week. Tomorrow, we're going to look at some superlatives. Who will be the Titans MVP? Who will be the Defensive Player of the Year? Stuff like that. Thursday is Crossover Thursday. Ross Jackson from Locked On Saints will be here to preview the game. And Friday is Game Plan Friday, where I tell you exactly what the Titans need to do from a schematic standpoint to win against the Saints. I'll be here on the channel live immediately after the game with the 10-minute recap, and then I'll have my full 30-minute breakdown out on Sunday night as well. So a lot of great content coming your way as we kick off the regular season. A little bit of a long intro here, but wanted to let you guys know about all the stuff we got coming up this year. But with that being said, the very first bet that we are going to talk about is Derrick Henry's rushing yards over under. And Fanduel Sportsbook has it set at 1150.5. Will Derrick Henry go over 1150.5 rushing yards? I mean, this is absurd. This is free money, ladies and gentlemen. Derrick Henry is going over that total. The only thing that could stop Derrick Henry from going over 1150 is an injury. And let's be honest here, even when injured in 2021, the man almost rushed for 1,000 yards in half a season. I mean, I think that Derrick Henry will finish the season closer to 2,000 yards than he is to 1150. I mean, what are we doing here? Again, FanDuel Sportsbook with this over-under for Derrick Henry is giving money away. It is essentially a bet. Will Derrick Henry get hurt or not? That's all you're doing here. Do you think Derrick Henry gets hurt? Do you think he doesn't? Because if Derrick Henry doesn't get hurt, this is an absolute lock. And I personally believe in Derrick Henry's work ethic. I believe in Derrick Henry's conditioning. I believe in Derrick Henry's process, quite honestly. The foot break was a stress fracture, something that is not soft tissue, not ligament, not anything like that. It was a bit of a freak accident, okay? In my mind, go to FanDuel Sportsbook right now. Smash the over on Derrick Henry's rushing yards. I mean, crazy. Again, I think it's free money. If Derrick Henry doesn't get hurt, there is zero chance he's not getting that many rushing yards this year. So, moving right along. Let me know, what do you guys think? Over or under on the 1150.5 rushing yards total for Derrick Henry on FanDuel? You guys let me know. Next, though, is Ryan Tannehill's passing yards. And this one may make you a little more nervous, and I get it. But Ryan Tannehill's over-under is 3,050 passing yards. 3,050 passing yards. Guys, again, to me, this is simply a bet on, is Ryan Tannehill going to play the whole season or not? That's all you're betting on here. Because if you look, the first season that Ryan Tannehill became the starter, he only played 10 games in the regular season for the Titans, threw for 2,700 yards. 7 extra games, he's not going to get 400 more yards. I mean, duh. So the pace there was clearly over 3,050. In 2020, a full season, 3,800 passing yards. In 2021, a full season, 3,700 passing yards. And last year, Tannehill only played in 12 games, and he had 2,500 passing yards. So 5 games to get 500 yards is basically what we're doing here. Make your bet. Do you think Tannehill is going to stay healthy or not? Because that's all this is. Because, again, at 3,050, I'm taking the over on that all day. I absolutely am hammering the over on that. There is a national disbelief in the Titans that can make you a lot of money here with these simple bets. Over on Ryan Tannehill passing yards at 3,050. And the next one goes hand in hand. DeAndre Hopkins receiving yards, 850 yards or more. What do you guys think for Hopkins? Over or under? For me, again, this is consistency. It's over. DeAndre Hopkins is going over 850 receiving yards. You look, last year, Hopkins only played in 9 games, but he averaged 79 yards per game. That's a 1,000-yard receiver pace. The year before that, only played in 10 games. The pace was a little off, but he was dealing with an injury. Now, you look back at any other point before his career, 1,400, 1,100, 1,500, 1,300. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins said himself, the moment he's not a 1,000-yard receiver, he's going to retire. And I don't think DeAndre Hopkins is going to retire after the season. This is an over. Again, the national consensus on the Titans is so low that there is incredible value on Fanduel Sportsbook right now with these individual player props. Henry over 1,150.5 on rushing yards. Tannehill over 3,050 on his passing yards. DeAndre Hopkins over 850 receiving yards. To me, again, that's free money, and I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. I already placed a bet on Derrick Henry going over those rushing yards. I mean, I'm not out here just being a pro gambler and betting every single bet possible, but, I mean, you take your pick, but all of these have really great value to get you some money and have a good time while you're cheering on your Titans doing well this season. But with that being said, I want to move into some more team-related options, some team-related bets that you can make. And again, I mean, the Titans over-under is free money, in my opinion. So we're going to talk about that in just a moment. Before we get into it, do want to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you by Bird Dogs. Bird Dogs are my absolute favorite shorts to wear. I have 3 pairs of shorts now. I have 2 different pairs of joggers. I have a hat. I love the Bird Dogs hat. I mean, it's fresh. It's clean. It's fantastic. Look at, oh yeah. Oh, look at it. Great hat. I mean, everything that Bird Dogs makes is absolutely fantastic, but I can't talk about the shorts enough. I like to be active. I like to go outside. I like to play golf. That's a fact. Everybody can tell by my polo selection on a day-to-day basis. I'm like a cartoon character out here. But if I were a cartoon character, my base outfit would include my Bird Dog shorts. They're stretchy. They're sweat wicking, so they don't like smell bad or stay wet like normal khaki shorts were. They have a ton of different pockets. I was worried about pocket space. I'm a big old school pocket guy, like my wallet, my back right, and blah, 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 all that. It's all possible with Bird Dog shorts because they have like 5 different pockets available to you. They're all the right size. I'm a big pocket guy, as you can tell. I mean, the functionality of the shorts plus the stylish nature of the shorts. Again, it's basically the same thing as Lululemon, but they fit way better. And right now, if you go to birddogs.com/LockedOnNFL and enter the promo code LockedOnNFL at checkout, you're going to get a free Bird Dogs water bottle with your order. That's birddogs.com/LockedOnNFL for a free water bottle at checkout. You won't want to take your Bird Dogs off. I never want to take my Bird Dogs off. And that, I promise you. Titans fans, let's continue today's edition of the Locked On Titans podcast. I got so excited by the Bird Dogs, I started clicking random buttons on my computer screen and everything. Things got a little squirrely, but we're toning it back in, getting back into our Tennessee Titans bets. And I feel like calling every bet a best bet. I know that can't be the case, but I mean, look at the individual prop bets we just went over for Derrick Henry, the rushing, the Tannehill passing yards, the Hopkins receiving yards. I mean, people are just so low on the Titans that it's giving you great value on Fanduel Sportsbook. So we're going to dive into some team bets right now. Before we do, want to thank you guys again for making the Locked On Titans podcast your first listen every day. Do want to let you guys know that the Locked On Ultimate NFL Season Preview is here. 7-episode extravaganza. It's going to bring you opinions, analysis, plenty of debate about all 32 of the Locked On or all 32 of NFL teams with all the analysis from all of the 32 Locked On NFL hosts. That includes me as well. You're going to get added insight from our national experts. It's a can't miss series before the season kicks off. It's going to get you ready to go for regular season. Catch every episode on Locked On NFL on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. But looking at some of these team-related bets for the Titans, I mean, we got to start with the over-under on Fanduel Sportsbook. And again, I've been saying this term, and I don't mean to over-exaggerate here, but the Titans over-under is 7.5 wins. It took a second straight year of historic injuries. It took a controversial fumble call against the Jaguars. It took league-leading IR, 34 players. It took Ryan Tannehill missing multiple games just for the Titans to go on a historic losing streak and only win 7 games. Do we think that that's going to happen again? Let me know down in the comments. Over under, Titans 7.5 wins. Based on my record prediction, I said the Titans were going to win 11 games, and I got people in the comments saying I was being disrespectful. How disrespectful is it for the Titans over and under to be at 7.5 wins then? Right? By that measure? I mean, whether you think the Titans are going to be more in the mid-range, whether you think the Titans are going to be absolutely incredible, either way, it's like that meme from, Predator, with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where the two hands meet together. I mean, even if you're down on the Titans, the odds of them having 7 wins again, I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Even my lowest projections for the Titans this year, my lowest projections, like back in April and May when the schedule came out, it was like 8 and 9. I think the Titans' floor is basically like 8 wins at this point. I said their floor was 7 wins before, and that was before they got Hopkins. So I don't understand how Fanduel Sportsbook has the Titans at 7.5 wins for their over-under. But what I do understand is how to go on there and place my bet and do it, because I already did. All right? I'm a big $25 guy. That's my units, $25. Every bet I make is about $25. If I feel really good about something, then I'll throw 50 on it. But, I mean, 7.5 wins. And look at this. Ask yourself, do you think the Titans are going to win the AFC South? I do. The Titans have the lowest odds of any team in the NFL at second place. So every book has a favorite to win the division. FanDuel has the Jaguars as, I think it's like minus 195 is the favorite. The Titans are the second team with the second best odds to win the division. But out of all of the second best teams in each division, the Titans have the worst odds to win it. So they think out of all of the second best teams in the NFL, the Titans are the least likely to win their division. I think they're the most likely. If you go through and you look, the Jets, the Ravens, the Chargers, who has more likely to win their division after finishing second last year? The Titans or those teams? You think the Chargers overtaking the Chiefs, or the Jets overtaking the Bills, or the Ravens overtaking the Bengals has better odds than the Titans going back and overtaking the Jags? I am mind blown when I put together all my research for this. The Titans to win the division, the odds are plus 325. Plus 325. I mean, it's shocking. It's shocking. I'm not going to call it free money, but that is incredible value. If you're somebody who gambles, then you should know. I mean, I have people, this weekend was a fun weekend for me. I had people all weekend telling me they love the odds on the Titans winning the division. It's not even that people love the Titans that much. It's just the odds are ridiculous. Plus 325. Go make some money. And finally, I want to say the Titans Super Bowl odds plus 6,000. I mean, I don't feel as confident about the Super Bowl, but I'm just saying you could turn $100 into $6,000 on the best day of your life if it happened. So if you have the discretionary money, then feel free, because, buddy, I don't like that one as much, but wanted to at least drop it in here. But there are some specialty bets that aren't like the obvious over, under, player prop, division, Super Bowl stuff. There are some specialty bets that I think, again, are just incredible value. One of them, I simply can't believe that it's an option the way that it is and the odds that you're getting on it. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. Before we get into it, though, do want to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you by Fanduel Sportsbook. We're talking about all these bets. We're talking about all this value that you can get on the Tennessee Titans. Guys, do it at Fanduel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5, and get $200 back in bonus bets guaranteed. Plus, all customers, and I literally just took advantage of this offer right here, guys. You have to do it. All customers who bet $5 will get a $100 off NFL Sunday ticket from YouTube or YouTube TV promo code. They literally send you a code in your email. You enter it into YouTube, and you get $100 off NFL Sunday ticket. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. The app is easy to use. You could be on everything from the spreads, player props. All the bets that we're talking about today are available on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. That's where I'm getting all these odds for you guys. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and kick off the NFL season with an offer that you won't want to miss. Guys, it's not going to get any better than this. Go to FanDuel now. FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL. Titans fans, let's cap off today's gambling edition of the Locked On Titans podcast. We did fantasy last week, hitting the gambling today. We talked about the player props with Henry and Tannehill and Hopkins. We talked about some team-related stuff, the over-under, division Super Bowl odds. Now I want to get into some specialty bets that just stood out to me as some incredible value. Before we do, I want to thank you guys again for making the Locked On Titans podcast your first listen each and every day. Couple of things. Trying out a new microphone today. If you guys are still watching the show, it's a little bit of an Easter egg for my late people who stayed all the way through. How's the audio sound? How are we doing? The last few weeks, I apologize. There's been some clicking, been some distortion, stuff like that. Wanted to try to fix it. Got a brand new microphone. Really excited about it. So let me know how the audio is coming through. Anybody on the podcast side, tag me on Twitter at TicTacTitans. Let me know how it sounds. Hope it's better for everybody and it's a win-win. But with that being said, we got to get back into this gambling stuff. Bet 100, bet 1,000, bet a stack, bet a mill. Put your money where your mouth is. And that's another little Easter egg too. If you guys know what I'm referencing there, let me know down below in the comments. But the Titans to win 10 games this year on Fanduel Sportsbook, to win 10 games. A lot of you guys said I was being disrespectful for picking the Titans to win 11. So to win 10 games, plus 235. You could bet $100 and you're going to win $235 if the Titans win 10 games. And I personally do think the Titans are winning 10 games. That's great odds right there. That's great value. I love that. All right. So a little bit of a specialty bet. It's, 2 wins higher than what you're going to need to win the over-under. But I think the Titans are winning 10 games. I really do. Again, my prediction was 11-6. So even if they lose one more game than I'm expecting, they would still hit that 10 wins. So I love that. But the bet I love the most, maybe out of all of these, is the Titans to sweep the AFC South. And it's not because of how likely I think it is, but look at the odds. Plus 4,200. The Titans have the Texans and the Colts in their division. They could be two of the worst teams in the NFL. Again, I don't think that it happens. I don't think the Titans sweep the AFC South. But it's not so unlikely that you should get 4,200 on the odds. Plus 4,200? I think the only thing that could truly prevent the Titans from doing that, it's totally possible that they sweep the Colts and the Texans. I don't think that is outrageous in any way. It really just comes down to, can they beat the Jaguars? Twice. And all it takes is 1 or 2 injuries, and you never know what could happen. So, again, it's not that I think this bet is so likely that I love it. It's just plus 4,200 when you're playing in a division with the Colts and the Texans. Yeah, I bet that one. I bet that one because, boy, that's incredible odds on FanDuel. You guys got to do that. And then finally, Derrick Henry to lead the NFL in rushing yards, plus 600. I think that's pretty good odds right there. Again, the Henry over-under is 1150.5. Insane. He is going over that. Again, I think there are better odds that Derrick Henry leads the league in rushing yards than he goes under 1150.5. So you combine those two together. You bet both of those, and you're just going to cash out when he leads the NFL in rushing. People who watch my show every day, my everydayers out there, I'm not some Titans homer that comes on here and pumps up the team and writes puff piece articles on them all the time. I am extra critical of the Titans. A lot of you guys criticize me for being as critical as I am against the team. And I'm here telling you, these are incredible bets. These are great value bets right here. So again, Henry rushing yards, 1150.5, over. Tannehill passing yards, 3050, over. Hopkins receiving yards, 850, over. Titans wins over under 7.5, over. The division odds, plus 325. Super Bowl, plus 6,000. Those are great odds, especially the division. Oh, my. And then win 10 games. They're going to win the division if they do that. Sweep the AFC South. It's getting me choked up. I'm so excited. Oh, my God. I can't handle it. But the point here is there's some great value with the Titans, again, because national consensus on the team is so low. So you're going to get some great value on Titans bets to have success. Now, not all of them will happen, but if you hunt good value and you make smart wagers that make sense for you, I think these Titans odds right here give you a great opportunity to make some money this year. But again, Locked On NFL is the promo code. Go over to Fanduel Sportsbook. Check out everything. Pick what you like. Let's have some fun. And, of course, always gamble responsibly. Only gamble what you can afford to lose. All that stuff has to be said, of course, here at the end of the show. But, ooh, man, I'm about to die. So, with that being said, that's going to end our show today. A lot of stuff coming your way this week. Crossover Thursday, superlatives, who's the Titans MVP, our game plan show. The season is here. But that is going to do it for me today, folks. As always, I am your host, Tyler Rowland, and this was Locked On Titans.